Well, now, from tariffs to tax cuts, President-elect Donald Trump promises he'll revitalize the United States, bringing in a new golden age.
For decades, Lincoln has stood as an icon of American luxury, synonymous with class innovation and a touch of presidential prestige. From chauffeuring world leaders to adorning Hollywood red carpets, the name Lincoln has carried a weight few brands can match. But amid Trump's return to the presidency in 2024, whispers are swirling about Lincoln facing a crisis. Could this historic automaker be falling victim to bold policies, shifting priorities, and the volatile world of global trade? The V8-powered Lincoln Town Car. It's still the roughest luxury car sold in America, and that makes it perfect for those really long drives. Let's start by getting to know the brand at the heart of the story. Lincoln, as it is, represents a luxury arm of the Ford Motor Company, where Ford is the pet name for all mass-market car segments. Lincoln, over the years, has been that figurehead of luxury representing Ford with so-called premium cars, rivaling the likes of Cadillac, Mercedes-Benz, and BMW over the decade. The Design L of Lincoln has hit a balance between comfort, cutting-edge technology and unmistakable American flavor models, like the Continental and Navigators, have won accolades for symbolizing class and sophistication, designed for those who mean serious business with their choices, but with no compromising on elegance. But Lincoln is not just another car brand. The image represented something deep-rooted in American craftsmanship, traditional but evolving with time. So for those who support this brand, it becomes all the more painful to hear possibilities of challenges looming under Trump's administration.
Ah, Bishop, the new kid. First day. We'll take it easy on you. Just park the Lincoln Town cars.
In the past 3 years, over 91,000 Cadillac owners have switched to Lincoln, many to Lincoln Town Car. They've discovered what a luxury car should be.
Lincoln Town car, please. Yes, sir.
To truly understand what's at stake, we need to rewind and explore Lincoln's remarkable journey. The story begins in 1917, during the height of World War I, when Henry Leland, who also founded Cadillac, decided to create another car company. He named it Lincoln, after his hero, President Abraham Lincoln. But for the early years, the brand was no bed of roses. Leland had financial distress, and by 1922, Ford Motor Company had acquired Lincoln. That was also the beginning of what would continue to make Lincoln not only a household name, but also synonymous with luxury cars within the American market. During the 20th century, Lincoln manufactured some of the most famous cars ever made. Lincoln Continental became almost legendary through culture after being introduced in the 1940s. It was not just a car, it was a statement. It attached itself to presidents, movie stars, and businessmen, turning Lincoln into an iconic status symbol. Lincoln was president by the middle of the 1960s. The car was in all but almost all of President John F. Kennedy's limousine, which suddenly became associated with his assassination. Yet even among the kinds of notoriety that would have ruined other companies, Lincoln's reputation for excellence only prospered heading into modernity. It becomes hard to take Lincoln out of the luxury market. The SUV lineup has included the Navigator in the Aviator, so this brand is quite up to standard shaping. Its appeal towards families, profession, and affluent buyers. But however, rich has been the history behind a brand, it is not at safeguard against political and economic pressures. And now we see where Trump's name will eventually come into play. His policies on trade tariffs and domestic manufacturing have ignited debate over whether brands like Lincoln inextricably linked to American identity. But at the same time, globalizing corporations can survive even in such an atmosphere. President Trump says his plan to put tariffs of up to 25% on imports of cars and parts built outside the US will be good for the economy, but automakers say it could the industry, devastating dealership profits and triggering job losses, and sticker shock for your pocket as well. Some dealerships say the average price of cars could skyrocket. A new phase has now opened in the trade history of the United States under the Trump presidency from day one. In 2024, Trump's presidency reinforced the American of first ideals on his mind to put us industry first, renewing efforts at reclaiming industries subjected to the ravages of globalization. The automotive industry was the natural target. Few things, after all, epitomize the American dream much better than car making. These tariffs are meant to penalize imports and can consequently encourage the production of stuff in America. On the other hand, it is uncertain how seriously this might affect global production, given that the car is manufactured as parts from all over the world, even in luxury brands like Lincoln for Lincoln, which prides itself on being truly innovative but not excluding luxury. This is a delicate time in the era of tariffs. The brand is American and serves American consumers, but its operations depend on a web of global suppliers to maintain the reputation of its vehicles. A tariff usually interferes with this web, resulting in increased costs and longer production times, which may adversely affect the brands. For I'm going to immediately impose a 25% tariff on everything they send in to the United States of America. And the reason I delayed that, you're the first ones I've told it to. Congratulations, North Carolina. And it's only got a 100% chance of working. Because of that doesn't work, I'll make it 50 as it relates to Lincoln. Then consider what the tariffs of Trump might mean. Imagine this. There is a 25% import tariff on parts for a brand such as Lincoln, making luxury vehicles that require high-quality materials and state-of-the-art components often imported from overseas. The costs are just incredible. Increased manufacturing costs for tariffs on parts. The profit margins of Lincoln decrease as suppliers charge more than before, while part of this cost may be absorbed by Ford. The parent company, a bulk of it, is passed down to consumers in the form of higher prices. Suddenly, Lincoln vehicles become far less competitive in the luxury market, loss of global market share. Luxury car buyers are very scrutinized when the price of a Lincoln Navigator rises by 10 to 15%. Due to tariffs, potential customers might switch to BMW or Lexus, which are not affected much by US government tariffs. The decline in sales with this low price tolerance, sales for Lincoln would drop. Low demand will of course lead to reduced production, factory closures, and ultimately job losses. Ironically, this is precisely what Trump's policies are designed to prevent. It's not just about numbers, though. Lincoln's reputation takes a blow, too. The brand, once celebrated for its ability to innovate and deliver value, starts being seen as overpriced or struggle to adapt to the new economic reality. The president is right to go after the bad guys, but these men and women behind me are the good guys, and we got to continue to fight for them. The challenges don't stop with Lincoln. The fate of this luxury division is tightly intertwined with that of Ford as a whole. While Lincoln represents a small percentage of Ford's total sales, it's an important part of the company's image in diversification strategy. Losing Lincoln would not only hurt Ford's bottom line, but also impact its credibility as a global automaker. Ripple effect on Ford's operations. If Lincoln struggles to stay profitable, Ford might be forced to cut back on its support for the luxury brand. This could mean reduced budgets for innovation marketing and even downsizing Lincoln's model lineup. Such moves make it even harder for Lincoln to compete in the already cutthroat luxury market. Impact on U.S. jobs. Ford employs thousands of workers across the U.S., many of whom are tied to Lincoln's production. A downturn for Lincoln could mean layoffs, especially in manufacturing hubs. While tariffs aim to create jobs, they can backfire by putting added strain on companies like Ford. Global competitiveness. In the long term, the tariffs could weaken Ford and Lincoln's ability to compete internationally if their focus shifts entirely to the domestic market to avoid import penalties. They risk alienating overseas buyers who are key to sustaining global brands. The idea of Lincoln, an American icon, facing such challenges under Trump's administration, paints a vivid picture of how interconnected politics, economics, and industry are. While the intention behind tariffs might be noble, the unintended consequences for brands like Lincoln remind us of the delicate balance required in a globalized world. While Lincoln is deeply rooted in American history, it's far from just a domestic brand. In recent years, Lincoln has focused heavily on expanding its global footprint, particularly in markets like China, where luxury cars are a symbol of status and wealth. China has become Lincoln's largest market outside the U.S., accounting for a significant chunk of its sales. Now imagine what Trump's tariff policies could mean for Lincoln's global strategy. For starters, retaliatory tariffs from countries like China could make Lincoln vehicles more expensive overseas. This puts Lincoln at a disadvantage compared to European or Asian competitors. Additionally, strained international trade relations might discourage Ford from investing in Lincoln's global operations, shifting focus back to the U.S. Pulling back on international markets would be a huge blow to Lincoln. The luxury segment thrives on exclusivity and global appeal. If Lincoln becomes perceived as a brand confined to American borders, its desirability could wane, especially among affluent buyers who favor global prestige. This is particularly concerning in regions like the Middle East and Asia, where Lincoln has been trying to carve out a niche. The transition to electric cars is probably going to be fairly slow, kind of the negative way of looking at it. The negative way that might be the realistic way is the hybrid cars were introduced in the US in year 2000. Yeah, after 10 years, we're up to 3% penetration of the new car market, unless we get government policy that's so aggressive, and unless we have some catastrophe where we decide we've got to get off oil immediately, it's going to take a while. Another major challenge for Lincoln lies in the global transition to electric vehicles, EVs. The luxury market is increasingly being defined by EV innovation, with brands like Tesla, Mercedes-Benz, and BMW setting the standard. Lincoln has started making moves toward electrification, but TS on imported EV components could severely slow its progress. EVs rely on a variety of materials like lithium for batteries that are often sourced from international suppliers. If tariffs increase the cost of these components, Lincoln faces a tough choice: absorb the costs and hurt profits, or pass them on to customers and risk losing buyers to competitors. Moreover, Trump's trade policies often prioritize traditional manufacturing sectors over green technologies, potentially leaving Lincoln and other automakers with less government support for their EV initiatives. For Lincoln, this is a double-edged sword. Failing to stay competitive in the EV market means falling behind in innovation, a death sentence in the luxury car world. This shift also threatens Lincoln's appeal to younger, environmentally conscious consumers. Buyers today want more than luxury. They want sustainability. If Lincoln doesn't deliver, those buyers might turn to other brands, further eroding Lincoln's market share. And in 1824, he sponsored a tariff bill that about doubled the average tariff rates. One of Lincoln's greatest strengths has always been its reputation for quality and sophistication. But reputation is a fragile thing, especially in a competitive market under Trump's tariff regime. Lincoln's challenges with rising costs and potential global isolation could easily spill over into public perception pricing pressure as tariffs drive up production costs. Lincoln vehicles become more expensive. Luxury buyers are willing to pay a premium, but only up to a point if prices rise too much, without corresponding improvements in features or performance. Lincoln risks being seen as overpriced and out of touch with consumer expectations. Reliability concerns, supply chain disruptions caused by tariffs could impact the availability of key components, leading to delays and potentially affecting the quality of Lincoln vehicles. This could tarnish the brand's image, especially if competitors continue delivering high-quality products without similar issues. Brand identity. Lincoln's identity as an American luxury brand is both a strength and a vulnerability. While tariffs may bolster its patriotic image domestically, they risk alienating global consumers who view Lincoln as part of a broader international luxury landscape. If Lincoln leans too heavily into its American-first branding, it might lose its broader appeal. Ultimately, Lincoln's reputation hinges on its ability to navigate these challenges while maintaining its commitment to luxury and innovation. The brand has survived decades of change, but the current landscape under Trump's policies presents a uniquely complex set of hurdles. To fully grasp Lincoln's precarious position under Trump's policies, it helps to compare the brand to its competitors. Lincoln operates in the fiercely competitive luxury. Another major challenge for Lincoln lies in the global transition to electric vehicles. EVs, the luxury market, is increasingly being defined by EV innovation, with brands like Tesla, Mercedes-Benz, and BMW setting the standard. Lincoln has started making moves toward electrification, but tariffs on imported EV components could severely slow its progress. EVs rely on a variety of materials like lithium for batteries that are often sourced from international suppliers. If tariffs increase the cost of these components, Lincoln faces a tough choice: absorb the costs and hurt profits, or pass them on to customers and risk losing buyers to competitors. Moreover, Trump's trade policies often prioritize traditional manufacturing sectors over green technologies, potentially leaving Lincoln and other automakers with less government support for their EV initiatives. For Lincoln, this is a double-edged sword. Failing to stay competitive in the EV market means falling behind in innovation, a death sentence in the luxury car world. This shift also threatens Lincoln's appeal to younger, environmentally conscious consumers. Buyers today want more than luxury. They want sustainability. If Lincoln doesn't deliver, those buyers might turn to other brands, further eroding Lincoln's market share. And in 1824, he sponsored a tariff bill that about doubled the average tariff rates. One of Lincoln's greatest strengths has always been its reputation for quality and sophistication. But reputation is a fragile thing, especially in a competitive market under Trump's tariff regime. Lincoln's challenges with rising costs and potential global isolation could easily spill over into public perception pricing pressure. As tariffs drive up production costs, Lincoln vehicles become more expensive. Luxury buyers are willing to pay a premium, but only up to a point. If prices rise too much, without corresponding improvements in features or performance, Lincoln risks being seen as overpriced and out of touch with consumer expectations. Reliability concerns, supply chain disruptions caused by tariffs could impact the availability of key components, leading to delays and potentially affecting the quality of Lincoln vehicles. This could tarnish the brand's image, especially if competitors continue delivering high-quality products without similar issues. Brand identity. Link's identity as an American luxury brand is both a strength and a vulnerability. While tariffs may bolster its patriotic image domestically, they risk alienating global consumers who view Lincoln as part of a broader international luxury landscape. If Lincoln leans too heavily into its American-first branding, it might lose its broader appeal. Ultimately, Link's reputation hinges on its ability to navigate these challenges while maintaining its commitment to luxury and innovation. The brand has survived decades of change, but the current landscape under Trump's policies presents a uniquely complex set of hurdles. To fully grasp Lincoln's precarious position under Trump's policies, it helps to compare the brand to its competitors. Lincoln operates in the fiercely competitive luxury automotive market, dominated by players like Mercedes-Benz, BMW, Lexus, and Cadillac. Each of these brands has carved out a niche and weathered trade tensions. Differently, take Cadillac, for example, as another American luxury brand. Cadillac shares some of Lincoln's challenges, but has invested heavily in diversifying its markets and modernizing its fleet. Cadillac's recent ventures into electric vehicles, EVs like the Eli, have positioned it as a forward-thinking brand. Meanwhile, German manufacturers like Mercedes-Benz and BMW benefit from robust global operations and supply chains. Even if tariffs or trade barriers are introduced, their scale and adaptability cushion the blow. Lincoln, in contrast, risk being left behind. Unlike its competitive C, it has struggled to define a strong global identity or lead in innovation. Tesla is another notable rival. While Tesla focuses exclusively on EVs and enjoys the reputation of being a tech leader, Lincoln is still viewed primarily as a traditional luxury brand. Under Trump's tariff policies, Tesla's vertically integrated business model could give it an edge in reducing costs and weathering supply chain disruptions, leaving Lincoln further disadvantaged. If Lincoln is to adapt and thrive, it might look to Toyota as a case study. Toyota has long been a master of resilience in volatile markets, thanks to its lean manufacturing processes and global diversification during trade wars. Toyota's flexible supply chains allow it to shift production to regions with lower tariffs or favorable trade agreements. For example, when faced with tariffs on vehicles imported to the U.S., Toyota expanded its production facilities in North America. This not only minimized tariff costs, but also bolstered its reputation as a local employer, earning goodwill among consumers and policymakers. Could Lincoln follow a similar path? Another example is Volkswagen, which weathered trade tensions by doubling down on its EV strategy and entering partnerships to share the financial burden of innovation. For Lincoln, collaboration could be whether that's through partnerships with battery suppliers or alliances with tech companies to accelerate its EV transition. The broader takeaway is evident for Lincoln. Collaboration could be whether that's through partnerships with battery suppliers or alliances with tech companies to accelerate its EV transition. The broader takeaway is evident. Brands that swiftly adapt to external challenges and invest in future-proof strategies are positioned to grow stronger. However, Lincoln faces a distinct set of obstacles, largely due to its reliance on Ford, its parent company. Ford must balance competing priorities across multiple brands, which can present difficulties in ensuring Lincoln receives the attention and resources necessary to thrive in a highly competitive luxury market. So when you look at what we're doing with Lincoln, as you've heard, it's about transformation. It's about reinvention of the Lincoln brand. And if you know the story that right, we did have luxury brands before, great luxury brands, we divested them. We found great viewers for those brands. The future of Lincoln, shaped by Trump's policies and beyond, hinges on its ability to successfully weather current challenges while strategically positioning itself for long-term success. This will require a combination of effective adaptation to external pressures and smart investments in innovation, sustainability, and luxury. The brand must remain agile and forward-thinking to secure its place in a rapidly evolving automotive landscape and continue to honor its prestigious legacy. In the short term, tariffs could force Lincoln to make tough decisions to protect profit margins. It might scale back production, reduce its model lineup, or even increase prices. But such moves come with risks. A leaner lineup could alienate loyal customers, while higher prices might push potential buyers toward competitors in the longer term. Lincoln's survival depends on innovation and adaptability. The luxury market is shifting rapidly toward EVs and digital experiences, and Lincoln must embrace these changes to stay relevant. If tariffs make it harder to source affordable EV components, Lincoln could consider investing in domestic production facilities or exploring new technologies to reduce costs. Lincoln has a unique opportunity to redefine its brand and solidify its place in the luxury market. With its rich legacy and iconic designs, the brand can capitalize on its American heritage while embracing modernity and inclusivity. By refreshing its brand identity and committing to sustainable innovations, Lincoln has the potential to restore its status as a leader in luxury, appealing to both legacy consumers and a new environmentally conscious audience. The future of Lincoln will depend on the decisions made today, particularly in adapting to the challenges posed by changing policies and market demands. Despite facing adversity in the past, Lincoln has shown resilience and an ability to evolve. The key question is whether it can innovate to preserve its legacy while shaping a future that resonates with a new generation of consumers. Blending tradition with forward-thinking technology and sustainability, while we recognize that free and fair trade makes the United States competitive, broad restrictions such as tariffs on autos and auto parts will raise costs for our customers and their families. That's why we echo the plea, "Don't tax my ride." As we look at Lincoln's journey under the challenges posed by Trump's policies, one thing becomes clear: the brand is at a crossroads. Its storied history, from creating some of the most iconic vehicles of the 20th century to its recent efforts at reinvention, shows resilience. Yet resilience alone may not be enough when the rules of the game keep changing. Tariffs, a shifting global market, and the rise of electric vehicles have created a perfect storm for the automotive industry, and Lincoln is far from immune. These pressures raise questions not only about Lincoln's survival, but also about its relevance in a market dominated by innovation and sustainability. While some of its competitors have managed to evolve quickly, Lincoln's ability to pivot remains uncertain. The brand's reliance on Ford has often been seen as both a blessing and a curse. On one hand, Ford's resources allow Lincoln to experiment with new technologies and design philosophies without bearing the full financial burden. On the other hand, Ford's priorities of balancing mass-market models with a limited focus on Lincoln may not align with what the luxury division needs to thrive in an era of upheaval. This leads to broader reflections. Can Lincoln truly compete with the likes of Tesla, Lexus, or BMW without a more defined identity? Tesla has become synonymous with the future of driving, while Lexus continues to blend luxury with reliability. Even Cadillac, Lincoln's closest domestic rival, has made bolder moves toward modernizing its fleet. What is Lincoln's unique offering in this crowded field? The tariff issue looms large over these questions. If Trump's policies are extended or even intensified, the cost of doing business could rise significantly for Lincoln. But tariffs also highlight a what do you think, will Lincoln rise to the occasion and thrive in this new era, or will it struggle to keep up with the changing tides? Only time will tell, but one thing is certain: Lincoln's next chapter will be one to watch. Thanks for tuning in. The future of Lincoln hangs in the balance, and the decisions made today will shape its legacy. What do you think Lincoln can do to overcome these challenges and reclaim its place as an automotive icon? Share your thoughts below. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more insights into the stories that shape our world. See you next time.